We've got plenty of content to get through, with a panel discussion each day and some discussions focusing on projects, participants and stakeholders. Today we'll be looking at digital methods, as well as addressing inclusion and employability tomorrow.
Since the start of the programme in 2014, we have approved over €1 billion worth of funding to UK organisations. This funding has led to more than 6,800 projects, with more than 1,000 projects each in higher education, in vet and youth sectors, and more than 2,000 school projects. These projects have provided funding for 939,000 participants.
I've been collaborating in my project with various stakeholders across the organization, which was great in the office to just meet with them. And all of a sudden, that really had a rapid transition into the virtual spaces. It's been a strategic project, so involving next to talking to a lot of stakeholders as well as a lot of data. That obviously wasn't a problem because that's been already online. I think the biggest learnings are really in the way how to collaborate with others and drive your work in the digital space. Getting to know myself better through that experience really helped me define, okay, what is the pathway I would like to take in the future, and what are the experiences which can really, based on the amazing Erasmus experience I had, support me even more to get into that direction. And I think that digital experience now really helped me to open up my mind to say, I'm looking globally for really the internship opportunities which will exactly support me on that pathway I'm looking to follow in my professional and personal development.
I think the biggest lesson was to just keep it simple and to try to set goals that were actually easy to achieve. I think everybody was under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress already. So we really thought, what can we do? What will work for our pupils in both schools? What will still follow the aims, the general aims of our project? And that's what we did. And I think that really worked. We were able to celebrate the pupils' effort. We were able to celebrate all the work we did in the last 3 years.
What these outputs and outcomes lead to is they can enhance student expertise, because the students are measuring their own competence against this benchmark. They're also comparing it and collaborating it with different nationalities. At our intensive study periods, there were 14 different nationalities at one point. And that in itself is enhancing students' professional and interpersonal skills, experiences that they've never had or would never expect to have in some university environments, or certainly in the classroom, they're able to experience here. And that develops their technical skills and capability.
We had a huge drive on changes on the way we do teach and our pupils are learning, and how actually our curriculum has been delivered and adapted across the 3 years. We have now provided rich opportunity for our pupils with the collaboration with the Austrian school and the Austrian pupils. We had a lot more experimental and hands-on activities as well with learning, which allowed them to have a richer and a better understanding of maybe more difficult concepts like they had done in science, in STEM, by actually going out into the garden.
When every young person comes on our programme, the Induction programme involves Erasmus+. And we have learners from previous years, 1, 2, 3 years ago, who will come in on an induction and they will discuss what they learned, how they've moved forward, and how they've actually got a career now.
One thing that we see in the program, that what we aim is to develop those, let's call it human uniquely skills. So it's very hard to track how this exactly has an impact on employability. One thing that we hear from colleges is that they come back with their confidence up there. What we aim is to show students that learning can be done in any environment. It's not limited to a classroom, that you need to be the master of your own learning. You have to be a lifelong learner, that you need to have initiative to keep learning, and that's also one of the end goals.
We've been to Finland to look at embedding literacy and numeracy in a vocational setting. We've been to the Basque Country in Spain to look at innovation in vet, And last year we went to Finland and Italy to look at internationalisation and what best practice can we look at overseas that could impact on what we do here in Wales. So following those visits to Finland and Italy, what we've actually done here now is to set up a working group of senior representatives from each of the colleges who are going to look at internationalisation and the benefits that can bring to the curriculum by enhancing and enriching the teaching and learning experiences.
It's clear that Erasmus Plus and the predecessor programmes have played a huge part in this culture of internationalisation across the sector, and how important that is moving forward. And I don't want to say the B word, but as we move into post-Brexit world, we don't want to cut off ourselves and our young people and adults to looking outside of the UK at best practice in their field of expertise.
What we have seen, since we started applying back in 2011 is a real growth in the numbers of the colleges who get involved and the individual departments within each college who get involved. So what has maybe started off as, one enthusiastic teacher in a childcare department in one college, suddenly when people start hearing the good news stories about these learners who return and what it's done for not just their technical skills, but, their soft skills, or as Andrew was saying, their human skills, that spreads throughout the college. And one of our colleges, I think this year, has almost kind of doubled the number of learners who are getting involved in Erasmus Plus projects.
And finally, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you all, the audience and everybody in the Erasmus Plus community for the role that you play in making this programme a success. We've had lots of external factors to contend with over the course of the last 7 years. But it hasn't hampered your commitment, your enthusiasm and passion, which you show day in, day out to enable so many people to benefit from this programme. It's been a real privilege to be part of this programme as the national agency and to share in the life-changing journeys that so many people have commenced on. And we know that these journeys continue for many months and years ahead. And long may those Erasmus Plus experiences continue to enrich the lives of the people that participated.